Hallo, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khushamdi, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen.
Pakhair agale, ni hao, chure shumme, washmale, ohio gizaimis, guten morgen, hola, boyor, privyet, kaifa hal, hale shuma chutore, ahlan wa sahlan marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, swabikap, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World. And I'm watching well this morning alongside the very fantastic, the very energetic Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely great. Thank you so much for asking. But to be honest, maybe a little sleep deprived because I think you're going to agree with me because of the latest schedule sort of everyone has. You know, we just stay in bed and watch Netflix or movies all day long, and that is what I was doing last night as well. So I think I slept late and well.
Well, it's perfectly all right. I think you'll get enough time even today to sleep or probably catch up on your sleep as well. But that's very right. And, thank God that you've actually mentioned Netflix as well because yesterday, well, I was on my cell phone and I was watching the series. I don't know whether I can mention the name or not, but I think that it's
Money
not suitable to mention the name
Yeah.
because it was 16 plus rated as well. But then at the same time, there was a time, ladies and gentlemen, when I thought to myself, what am I even doing? And I felt like throwing my cell phone away. And then my nephew was there and I was like, we should actually be doing something creative.
Exactly.
And then he was like, okay, what do you think we need to do? And then I was like, okay, let me sleep over it and I will let you know. And as soon as I got up early in the morning, there's this one amazing friend who's a musician.
Yeah.
He sent in a song on WhatsApp and he was like, we're doing a national song together.
Aw.
So we want everybody to record their bits and send them to us. And
I
think
want
that,
you
yeah, we
Okay.
can do it together. So ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I think that's the most creative thing we could come up with. And that's how the tagline goes. Daro na, kal phir se aayega. So I'm not going to give everything away as well, if in case my friend's watching. But other than that, Shiza, how do you think things are? Because everybody is probably in quarantine or isolating themselves. Majority of the people are not going to work.
Yeah.
Then there's this class who are actually going to work but then not getting paid by
Yeah.
other people as well, which I think is the irony at this point of time as well, ladies and gentlemen, that there's an employer who wants you to be at work but then at the same time tells you on your face that you won't be getting paid for this month or the second month as well. It's absurd.
Exactly. And Shazad, you know what, among this situation, whenever we're talking about the times of Corona, we put a special focus on, of course, the elderly people because, yes, they're vulnerable to this, well, let's say, catching the virus as well. And then we put our focus on infants or toddlers or even kids because, again, they're vulnerable too. But I feel like there's a super extra pressure or stress on the youngsters and especially on the working class, like you very rightly said. Some offices are closed, yes, some have given their paid leaves to their employees, some even unpaid leaves. And like you mentioned, the worst is when you are calling your employees for work and not paying them. I mean, come on, look at all the resources they are using and from their own pocket as well. And this is actually a sort of, I want to say this is such a brave and courageous thing to do, to come out of their houses and come to your office to work for you if it's not work from home in the times of Corona as well. I want to give an example though. A girl very close to me. So she works as an embryologist at a very reputed institution over here. And they are, of course, given unpaid leaves, but they are asked to come to work whenever the boss asks. And the boss was really rude enough to just tell them that by the end of the day, you should be happy that you still have a job, let alone paid or unpaid. I think this is really rude. I was
It's
not
not just
really
rude, I
complying
think
with-
that it is taking away your very own right of getting paid for the kind of work you've done as well.
Absolutely.
And not just that, Shiza, even I have a lot of examples. For example, I have my own example, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. So I've been working, alhamdulillah, for different TV channels
Yes,
as well and
mashallah.
for different organizations. So eventually I was traveling, I got back. I'm sorry that I have to tell you every day, but this is how it went. So I got back and the condition over here is worsening gradually. So we have more than 4,000 cases now. People are taking more precautions. People are not going towards work as well. So I called all of those people who owed me money and they were from some big media houses as well. And they were straight to my face. They were like, sir, how the condition is these days. So probably when everything's going to get back to normal, that's when we are going to pay you. I mean, for a second, can you imagine what difficulty the other person might be going through? And just because of that fact that he's asking for the money he's worked for already for you and you've
Exactly.
earned your profits onto them. I think that this is sheer negligence by all those other people who can actually do something about it. For all of those employers, I think I'm going to make a point today, and this is something creative I would work on now, that for all of those people, they can write to us who are not getting paid and they're still at job and their employer is actually telling them that, you know, we cannot do anything. Either you keep the job or either you take the salary. So I think I will put more focus on it. And if there are any other people who are actually going through the same scenario as well, all you have to do is write to us on our Facebook page, and we'll definitely be in touch with your employer.
Absolutely.
And tell him to please make sure to pay, because there's a reason. So people have been in business for the most, I think for the longest period of time as well.
Yeah.
The example you were giving, I
Yeah.
know well, exactly where that lady works as well, and that lady is rich lady.
Yes.
You know, the other lady who's working with that particular lady
Yeah.
is a very rich lady. She's got a bigger setup as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we really need to tell them that please, you need to pay your employers. Let me give you an example.
Yeah, now is not the time to exploit,
Exactly.
to be honest.
So even though that we do not have any domestic help at our houses now, but I've made a point that I've asked my, you know, anybody and everybody at home that we are actually still going to be paying all of those people who used to work over here,
Yes.
because it was our choice to send them back home.
Exactly.
It wasn't them.
Yeah, and that is what my mom did as well. I was really proud of her, to be honest. And to be honest, like 5 days down the lane, she was like, I feel like I do still need help. But we were like, hold on to it at least for a
Yeah.
month or two. But
Yeah.
this is what the attitude of everyone should be out there. And Shazad, speaking of, you know, unemployed people, a lot of people in the education sector are going unemployed.
Exactly.
Because, you know, every other day almost we're talking about how education is now online. You can just, you know, receive all your classes, take all your assignments and worksheets and whatnot at the expense of your own sofa, your TV lounge, your bedroom, whatnot. But you really have to realize when the institutions are closed, there must be a lot of people who are going out of work.
Exactly.
To begin with, let's see, janitors, or
Yeah.
you know, the one you call ayama, the help that you have at school.
Yeah.
You know, there are so many, your sports teacher, your librarian, there are just so many people. So there are a limited set of teachers that will be working to, you know, create the course that you have online. But the other teachers, well, in some cases that we cannot really name right now, are being unemployed, are, you know, really sitting at home and not working at all, and unfortunately, by no other choice, letting their passion die.
Exactly. And then at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, let's be very honest, not many people out there are teachers by choice. You know, many people are teachers because of the fact that, you know, they were single parents, or probably, you know, they had some other economic issues or financial issues and they had to do
Yeah.
something. And this, obviously for women, this is the safest job, you know, going to school, teaching
Yes.
kids, and it is very respectable at the same time. So what are we doing to look for, or to look after all of those 1.5 million teachers in this time of distress as well? Not just that, what are we doing about those 200 million students who are actually not going to school these days?
Yeah,
so there's
exactly.
this great initiative, which in days to come we'll definitely see that PTB will initiate its own educational television channel as well.
And we were so proud of that, actually,
Yeah.
Shazad, because Shazad and I were discussing this before the show as well. So this was an MOU signed between the PTV and the government. The Education Minister, Shafkat Mahmood Saab, is actually really passionate about what he's working for. He really believes in the power of education and knowledge, you know, and he knows this is the way forward as well. So in the days to come, like Shazad mentioned, we will find out how this is going to work as well. There are going to be, you know, shows and a lot of content for adults and even kids to just stay at home and learn. And this is
Exactly.
one of the things that we will be talking about today.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, so we definitely have that one person whose brainchild, whose idea it was to actually have an educational channel as well, but by the end of the day, obviously it's a team effort. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman is actually affiliated with the Private School Federation too as well. He's affiliated with the Rawalpindi Chamber of Commerce as well. Then this gentleman has his own organization with the name of Fortune, and he makes sure that, you know, that he is actually going to provide all of those facilities which will make us or give us the socio-economic strength as well. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we are very lucky that we've actually been joined by the Managing Director, Fortune Pakistan, Lieutenant Colonel Fuad Hanif Saab. Hello sir, Assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Shazad. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for, you see, appreciating me or introducing me with such a very loud bang. You see, with this, I wish and I pray that we continue what your inspirations or what your desires are. Having said that, as a member of All Pakistan Private Schools Federation and as a member of Rawalpindi Chamber of Commerce and Industries, it's a unique blend where you see economics and education, they are moving hand in glove.
Yes.
And this is the most important thing, which is the time, which is the need of the time.
Yep.
Now, representing over 2 lakh of private schools and over 15 as you said 15 lakh private school teachers
Yeah.
and over 200 million students. You see, this is something very important we have missed out. That is over 2.8 million students out of school children.
Yes.
You see, this is something very, very alarming, and how to channelize Pakistan. By virtue of its good luck, we are the youngest nation in the one of the youngest nations in the world.
Yes.
Exactly.
We are the second largest youth population in South Asia. Now, with all this magnanimous resource, youth resource at your hand, I feel that what is going to be their plight? That this is the this virus is something in the blessing in disguise for us, where we are facing actual what is happening with us, and where as fortune we desire the government to reshape what is being taught. 16 years of school, studying two nation theory or studying blah blah blah. You see, at the end of the day, a 16-year-old boy or a girl, is he helping his parents?
Yeah.
So that is a big question mark.
Exactly.
So for that we came out with an idea that why not with the help of PTV we launch something which is unique in nature and which fulfills our desire to put this out of school and the children who are in school into a platform from where they can learn.
All right.
Right.
So coming back to as you were saying that online education and going on to the TV, you see there are certain drawbacks. However, there are suggestions which we would like to present to the government of Pakistan and to the education ministry as how that we move ahead with this idea. So this is going to be there are different countries like in China, there are in Japan, there are Japan has already offered us help.
Right.
Like if you launch your educational TV, so we are there to collaborate with you.
Right, absolutely. And you know, this actually reminds me of when there was a video conference. SARC leaders were holding the video conference, and Ashraf Ghani actually suggested the idea that, you know, to have a shared education system in terms of, you know, borrowing the SARC and India satellites as well, so that whatever educational content is produced in one country, in one state, everyone can share it as well. So just to understand your vision better, so did you start working on a separate educational channel before the coronavirus happened, or did it happen after that?
It was prior to that.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
the reason what I have told you is that there is a disparity, a serious disparity amongst the curriculum.
Yes.
Few are going for Oxford, few going for blah blah blah, and few
Right.
going for. Now we have 3 sets of schools in our country.
Okay.
Not for non-profit, for profit, and those who have governing bodies. Like now, if we for like non-profit schools, I am representing that segment, which is 96% of those schools which charge less than 1,000 and it's a limit to 5,000 rupees, less than 5,000 rupees.
All
Now
right.
that is 96%, which is, you see, 200 million students. Then there is another segment that is for profit, like there are the remaining 4% falls
Yeah.
into that, and the fees, like I was talking to yourself in the morning before coming, so you said they have given you the fee challan, and now you are like
You
to
have
do what?
to pay. Yeah, exactly.
So, you see, and then there is another third segment, which is, you see, governors, board of governors, like military colleges, like Middle College Hassan Abdal, like Lawrence
JLM,
College,
MRI,
so
yes.
many others. Living on the state's land, getting government things. Now, basically, before this, I would like to address the most important thing, that is the fate of 1.5 million teachers.
Exactly.
Parents, I don't know why, are reluctant to respect those who are teaching their children to become what their dreams are.
Yeah.
If we do not respect the person who educates us, so as a nation, where do we stand?
Exactly.
Now, that one person who is imparting you education, now, do you not think that that one person has his family, that one person has his kids, or that one person is throughout his, he is starving, he is fasting?
That's totally true, and we definitely want you to make your point as well. But don't you think that having an education channel and staying in the context of that channel as well, don't you think that it will actually put the jobs of the teachers in jeopardy as well? Because then there will be more people looking at the television and learning themselves rather than going to schools. Are we looking at an education channel where we might not have to go to school, or we'll still have to go to school? One. And the other one is, do we have a national curriculum for all of us to be on the same page as well? And do you think that that curriculum is inclusive for everybody out there?
Answering your first question last and the last first, that is the curriculum, about the curriculum. Honorable Minister Shafqat Mahmood, he is working hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
I pray he comes out with something, you see.
Of
now,
course.
whatever he comes out, now that has to be the part of the TV.
Exactly.
Because if we do not, so with 101 mosques or 101 churches, or you see 101 directions to move, how can we? It will be a exercise futile. So the first and the foremost important thing is a unified syllabi for the entire country.
Yeah.
Till the time we do not have, it will not be possible. Now, having said this, with regard to the syllabi, coming on to the job, losing, the fear of losing jobs.
Yeah.
You see, everything works in a joint effort.
Yeah.
Right.
What you teach in on the TV, you see, that has to be supplemented by someone on ground.
Okay.
So till the time both are not in sync together, you see. So that's the reason, as a private sector entrepreneur, I am here that together with Government of Pakistan, with Education Ministry, we work together, we sync together, and we formulate such policies which are required, which are time of the need. And as you said earlier, that it is because of the corona, or it is because of this virus that we came out with this. No, it was certainly not.
Okay.
Quite a number of years have gone into this. This is an blessing in disguise for us, where people are now thinking that there has to be some unification, not only in the curriculum but in the national character also.
All right.
Which is the
Absolutely.
most important thing.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, sir, then adding on to that, I just want to dig in a little more deeper into the kind of content we'll be sharing on the, if in case, inshallah, we move forward and there is this PTV educational channel as well. So we have people from all walks of life. We have farmers, we have industrialists, we have people who might not have read a book in their life as well. So how do you think that we're going to justify that 24-hour time we'll have during the day? How do you think that, what kind of information needs to be on that channel as well? Because I am somebody who's done his master's and looking for, or probably looking forward to doing a PhD, or even Shiza for that matter as well. Then we have people who do not go to school till 8th grade, and when it's the board examination, that's when they appear. Right. So how are we going to disintegrate or probably integrate for the same purpose?
Yeah.
So it's a very, very pertinent and very important thing. Now, as I said earlier, that we need to find out that what is the objective of a particular degree or a particular knowledge, what you say is seek. Now, having said this, that what is the aim of acquiring that knowledge? So, aim is to look after others, to look after your siblings, to look after your family. So this, now, once I talk of this, we have those, once I talk of this, we are definitely looking into something where, as I said earlier, from grade 1 to grade 16, from grade age bracket 16, from age bracket 16 to age bracket 30. So these are different segments of the society.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And as we are the most populous on this, so all their needs are being looked into it. How those needs will be translated into virtual reality. How will digitization or how will it create impact? So all those aspects are being looked into, because a vast spectrum of subjects. You see, like you were talking of some doctor, or there are vast subjects. But basically, what we need to do with this channel is that at least streamline, give some insight to the students as what exactly the meaning of Pakistan is.
Exactly. But
All right, I do. So sorry, Shahzad, to cut
go
you off
ahead.
over here, but to my understanding, I do get it that we probably right now do not have the exact, let's say, outlines of what there's going to be.
Yeah.
But the education that will be imparted in, let's say, English or Urdu or even both or other languages is going to be based around the national character, like Sir mentioned as well. But now coming to you, sir, you have been an educationist for quite some years now. There's a recent hot debate for about 2 weeks going on Twitter, Facebook, social media, everywhere, of online classes where the students are not really happy with it, really not willing to even take those classes. And the teachers, of course, have to really comply to the orders that they get. Thus, the classes continue. How do you think that is going to work out? Is it a good solution to, the school and other institutions being off or closed? And is it going to be sustainable in the near future as well?
And then, so just
sorry,
a small point. I need to add to this
Yes,
small
yes.
point, and that is that there is a reason that mothers are not actually able to supplicate what the teachers are teaching the kids online.
This is something very, very important. Like, I representing 96% of that cluster of Pakistan,
Right.
which is lower and lower middle income group. Now, online, do they have the facilities? If they
Hardly some, not all.
hardly some.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, so this is, now here comes the PTV.
Okay.
You see, your terrestrial
Broadcasting.
your terrestrial
Broadcast.
broad horizon
Yeah.
is where everyone can go.
Yeah.
Now, my daughter studying in she's a final year MBBS student.
Mashallah.
Now she is online with her. She is being taught online. You see, by her college.
Yeah.
As a father, I am quite scared also. And well, you can understand what I'm saying.
Right, so MBBS you said, right?
Yeah.
Now, to my understanding, and this is because one of my sisters just recently got into MBBS as well, and especially you mentioned in the last year, this has to be all practical, all in the ward as well. I don't understand how a person who dedicated 5 years of her life to becoming a doctor and serving humanity is going to learn, let's say, surgery or let's say even medicine on video call. I don't know how's that going to work.
That is the reason what I am saying, that online, how can you get everyone online?
Right.
And then how can you check the content what is being taught?
The quality of the work.
The quality of work. So here comes the role that the government must employ and must, if not employ, use that 1.5 million educated people, seek their input as how we can do it.
Yeah.
Because your connectivity is an issue.
Absolutely.
You're charging this mobile, you see,
an
well,
issue,
every
yeah.
time you have to fill in that money. So I will not go into those conspiracy theories and all
so
that.
which is why, sir, towards the end of this segment, there's this one last question which I've been thinking about as well, and I thought that I'm going to put it right in front of you. And that is, now for us over here in Pakistan, we've been very keen to earn degrees. We really weren't never keen of getting or probably acquiring knowledge for ourselves, but we were always particularly running or chasing the degrees itself. So
It's
for
a race.
somebody who was actually for himself or for her, I think that they are taking that part of schooling from that channel, which is about to come as well. Don't you think that we actually have an existing example with the name of virtual university? And how well do you think they have done in terms of educating children online? Do you think that they have done a tremendous job, and do you think that PTB will be able to do a beautiful job and a better job, and the future will be bright for those students?
It will be.
Okay.
So
you're hopeful.
I talk with conviction, because like you said that uh, uh, with all those degrees, why those degrees are meant.
Yep.
You see, this channel is going to augment your skills.
Exactly.
Skill development world over is the largest element where the people they are working. Now, with skill development, if I talk of my household, my daughter, she doesn't know how to fix a switch.
Exactly.
You see, for that we have to get a electrician.
Exactly.
So those that by this channel, we intend developing the entrepreneurial which are you see skilled. Now those skilled children are going to be helpful in your economics.
Right.
Obviously.
You're turning the wheel of your country. So
Exactly.
but till the time you do not have you see something to eat or have your money in your pocket, you see. So here I'm very, very confident that this TV channel, with the help of this TV channel, we are going to not only impart the requisite knowledge,
But the
required,
skill-based knowledge
but
as well.
skill-based knowledge.
Right.
Well,
Thank
that's
you so
great.
much for saying that. This was absolutely brilliant, sir. You are a visionary, of course. We know that you have served in the armed forces for so long, and then actually to have that courage to start something non-profit and serve the country with the talent that you have, with the knowledge that you already have. Thank you so much for being here as well.
Thank you very much,
early
sir.
in the morning.
Thank you, very kind, very kind. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, unemployment was one of the things that we were talking about, and it's just one of the very minor things that are adding to the massive stress these days. This is what we will be talking about in the next segment: how to deal with the stress that we have, and how to identify which is actually a legit, thing to worry about, among other things as well. Stay tuned to find out. Good morning.
Good morning. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PTV World, you watching World this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier we were in conversation with Lieutenant Colonel Fawad Hanif Saab, who's actually somebody who I would actually refer to as a visionary, and is working for the betterment of the teachers over here in private schools.
Right.
And not just that, he's actually looking forward to developing an educational channel with PTV as well. And not just that, obviously the education minister and PTV are working on it together. But not just that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that these days everybody is very fearful of death.
Yeah.
Everybody is very fearful of not getting paid. Everybody is very fearful of how to look after their kids if they won't be getting paid. And not just that, ladies and gentlemen, since it's a lockdown, so there's domestic violence in Pakistan which already existed. What do those wives do if their husband's beating them? We do know that over here children are being abused as well. What do those children do? How do we manage all of these stresses as well? And since at the very beginning of the show I said that you cannot even look at your cell phone for a longer period of time and you feel like throwing it away. So how do you make sure that you manage all of these stresses in a very healthy way, and what to do if you're feeling stressed?
Right, and Shazad, I think that for all the stresses that you can think of for yourself right now, and I can think of for myself right now, I think there will be just so many and so different as well. My point being, there's just numerous, like hundreds of things that can worry you, especially in the times of Corona lately. And fear is only natural, ladies and gentlemen. You're a human being. It's okay to fear of, to be fearful of things, but to manage that and come out of it stronger is what really matters. One issue, Shazad, that I feel is with our community, especially, I hate saying this, but the boomers, baby boomers, especially all around the world, they really do believe in WhatsApp messages, whatever they do get. So what lately happened is WhatsApp really took this seriously, and they have limited mass forwarding of messages.
Okay.
So because in the time of this stress, this was absolutely necessary. Every other day you would even receive messages, garam pani piye, or the next day you'll receive ab thanda pani piye. You really don't know what to believe, right? So WhatsApp now allows you to forward the message to only one person and not more than that. And that too, if actually it makes sense. This is just one of the things I wanted to put it out there because, well, WhatsApp messages do create a lot of hysteria.
And thank you very much for saying that. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, at the same time, when you feel stressed, obviously you need to use your brain too as well. And before we introduce our guest, there's one simple request which I'm going to make sure that everybody listens to, and that is that, God forbid, if there are people who are actually going to get affected with coronavirus just because of their negligence, that they're still roaming outside, let me tell you one thing. So God forbid, if you're positive of coronavirus, there will be an ambulance outside your house who will take you to a place where you will be put in isolation for more than 20 or 14 days as well. But not just that, ladies and gentlemen, your parents, your family members, sisters, nobody would be allowed, even your kids for that matter, to come and visit you. God forbid, if you do not make out of it and unfortunately you pass away, your people from your home won't be able to actually attend your funeral, and they won't be able to go to the graveyard to actually do all of what is important to bury. But then, so I think that everybody needs to realize how important it is to take all of the precautionary measures, and whatever the government is saying, please follow that. It's
Absolutely.
not, and it's not a message to put you in stress, but I think that a stitch in time saves 9 as well. But ladies and gentlemen, how to manage all of these stresses in these times? We have somebody very amazing over here. He's a motivational speaker himself, and he's a stress management speaker. Well, this is a very newly coined term as well, ladies and gentlemen. He's none other than Brigadier Retired Muhammad Tahir Nawaz Saab. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
Walaikum salam. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us. So, sir, first things first, fear of death. Everybody is actually looking forward to dying of coronavirus, unfortunately, but that's how it is, and everybody's scared. What do you do?
Let me share for the satisfaction of the people. Everybody has to die one day.
Yes, thank you for saying that.
That's the correct saying, and that's the reality.
Yeah.
But to cope up these things, instead of putting people in more and more and more stress, my synopsis of life is, as a PhD doctor, is that you should knowing the skills to cope up that.
Okay.
For example, we are not annoyed with human beings. We are annoyed with the habits of human beings. We, the human beings, we are the social animals. We learn to live together. And one of the basic principle of life is you need to accommodate people in pleasure and in hard times.
Absolutely.
And the best friendships are which are in the tested times. So this is the tested time for everyone. For one thing is to the all the my respected forum and people is that please don't put elders in stress. All the way with the humble request to the media also, sometime through the social media, and unnecessary videos, we put people in unnecessary stresses.
Right.
Exactly.
The older people who is already a patient of diabetes, BP, it's not justified to put the TV channel, news channel throughout the day for him.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
I just share example of my mother is bedridden, she is 90 years old.
Okay.
So I just banned the TV news channel for her. One day I put on the National Geographic, other day other channel, people visiting that. Again and again repeating a synopsis and putting people in stress is not justified.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
need to learn these skills. There is a saying by a Babaji which I shared it very much in the last program also. दुनिया उते रख फकीरा इंज तू अपना बैन खलोन कोल होवे ते हसन लोकी छड़ जावे ते रोन.
The road.
In this time of stress, we need to learn how much vibes of the comfort can be given to others.
Okay.
Corona is a reality.
Yes.
Taking measures is a reality.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how do you take measures? That's again a reality.
Yep.
So let's shift our focus to tell people, to guide people in a very soft, loving tone,
Yep.
very pleasing tone. You can do this. Take more water. Be comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Until the time you are comfortable with yourself, how could be comfortable with others?
Exactly.
Everybody is having a hidden stress of corona
Yeah.
and ultimately death.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, overcoming that corona or the fear of death is a way to learn how to stay positive in life.
Exactly. Or how to come closer to Allah.
Yeah, but so
And
you-
how to come closer to Allah and knowing that what is the threat.
Exactly.
Right.
And once you know the threat, as a soldier I would like to share with you know, once you know the strength of the threat,
Yeah.
it's very comfortable for you because you have 70% in your pocket.
Yes.
Right.
So we do have 70% in pocket, threat is there, precautions are there. No, we need to work on 30%. And that 30% is to be worked as per the age groups.
So what I've picked up from the conversation so far is to shift our focus
Yes.
Right. But
from
here's the thing.
from all the stresses and towards probably facilitating someone.
That's right.
And do you think it will help?
It will help.
Okay.
You know, once you identified a threat, the threat identification and deletion of threat is the different for the different age groups.
Okay.
For example, I said for my mother, I just request her to talk to her loving ones, new things. How did you have your marriage?
Yeah.
What was the meaning of your marriage? And all that.
So doesn't she say Nasja Putra ki kedi galla lage?
No, she laughs it out.
Oh,
Yeah.
And she
right.
corrects me also.
That's
Wow.
so sweet.
Because human beings like engine.
Yeah.
You need a spiritual revival also. All the time remaining 24 hours, remaining in stress will low down your productivity.
Exactly.
Basically, I am a student of productivity enhancement also. It also says you have different segments and balance in life.
Yes.
We need to actually, instead of putting the people on the disasters of corona, I would say shift your focus on the precautions for corona.
Yep.
But so, you know, yes, I do agree with
One,
everything
sorry,
you said. Yes,
let
please,
me add on. And secondly, the stress management or the threat management is different for different age group.
Yeah. Okay.
For example, you want to teach a threat to a child,
Yeah.
to start playing Ludo with him and teach him,
Right,
okay,
right.
yes, we do this, this is threat, and learn better we have to do because it's not good for health.
Exactly.
And once you're talking to an elder person without telling her or him, the older people especially, I have a lot of respect for the older segment of the society. Instead of telling them the disasters of the corona,
Yep.
we need to tell them please take care, don't go out of room, take neat food, wash your hands and all those
Right.
whatever
Yep.
it is.
Right.
So what I want to focus in that, because human beings, we have a spiritual food also. As
Soul food.
Soul food.
Yes.
As we take care for the hard food, that is for the human beings and for the life to live, there is a food for spiritual also.
Yep.
More spiritual food you give to people, more strong they are.
Exactly.
Because people operate on their souls, not on bodies.
Exactly.
Absolutely, that's just beautiful.
Yes.
But so, you know, you being the stress management specialist, I think that yes, you do make sense where you believe that you need to adopt different ways of, you know, dealing with stress.
Yep.
But let's say if I'm of course I have the fear that everyone over here has about corona as well, but I do learn how to deal with it in terms of, let's say, not switching on to news channels all the time or just receiving the right kind of information. But there will be some people in the society which will not take the situation seriously, like Shazad mentioned, people just going out on the streets and going out in public places and just not taking things seriously.
That's
They add to my stress. How to
That's-
deal with that?
Yes, that's a very sore point and that's unfortunate also.
Yeah.
I also feel pain for that.
Yeah.
Because young people playing in parks and going in the market without any justified deed.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
and
a painful
especially when
for
our
us.
premier said that things are
Actually,
going to get worse.
what I have to say to the, especially request to the media people also,
Yeah.
the focus and the communication of the things has been not, there's something questionable in that.
Exactly.
We need to, wherever we, I was just sharing it with you in the off the record, that people are not worried about law.
Yeah.
People are worried about the social pressures.
Exactly.
The more comments to give through the body language than to the words.
Right.
The shift towards, focus towards the, through social media, through the self accountability, members of the family, elders of the family should have been so showering, because human beings are always, they are prone to forget the things.
Exactly.
Subodh Per Sham, there should be very hard focus that you need to take this, you need to take this, one. And secondly, socially, elders of the families are to be supposed to be educated that you are supposed to do it.
Exactly.
You are not playing with your own life, but you are playing with the life of others also.
Exactly.
Right.
Then
Thank you very
then-
much for saying that as well. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a similar example to share. So my khala, she's an elderly person, and while I was traveling, so I was at her place as well. So the way we actually had to make her understand, because every now and then she'll be like, okay, I need to get this, I need to get this. And then people have this habit of stepping outside the house. So,
Right.
you cannot kill that habit all of a sudden. So what we actually had to tell her was, I know that it was a little harsh, but I didn't do it. Her very elderly daughter did it as well. And she said to her that, look, mom, if you're going to step outside and if you get coronavirus, you're not coming back home. You're dying. That's it. I know that it was a very harsh way to make them understand. But ladies and gentlemen, at times people are so habitual of doing or indulging themselves into an activity which can be so harmful for them that they do not realize. So we really need to tell them. But very quickly, sir, before we wrap up the segment as well, and that is that there are a lot of women, even from very educated backgrounds, married to very educated families as well, but still facing domestic violence.
Right.
There are a lot of kids, whose parents are actually abusing them or probably beating them as well.
Right.
So for women, and then for those kids, you need to give some special advices, and towards the end, for all those husbands who are listening to their wives as
Right.
well, or wives listening to their
Right.
husbands.
As a humble person of the family counseling and the child teenage psychology counseling, I want to share one thing. The cases of the fight in houses are on increase because once human beings are frustrated,
Yeah.
and frustration coupled with the fear,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that goes on higher peak.
Absolutely.
You enjoy few days for enjoyment, but you can't enjoy every day.
Yeah.
So let me tell you all is that people, you don't hate or like people as human being.
Yep.
You hate or people like due to their habits.
Yep.
Let's have positivity in our habits. How? I'll share it with the example. How once you're living together, you don't expect all the time my Begum should offer me a cup of tea. Sometimes you can offer her. Also.
Exactly.
Sharing and caring enhances the bondage. Sharing and caring increases love.
Yeah.
And then secondly, with the children, you need to give them different assignments,
Right.
stay positive, goodness, and sharing a positive argue. That is what is required.
Thank you so
And
much for saying
change
that,
this
sir.
time to a positive activity. This is
Exactly.
what it
Thank
is.
you very much, sir, for saying and using these kind words as well. For everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, we're pretty much giving it away. Please make sure that you move your focus from being so stressful about what the situation is, but rather put your focus onto how to help people.
Absolutely, and please write us on a Facebook page, our Twitter, our YouTube, Daily Motion, everything with the name of Well This Morning. We look forward to your feedback as well. Stay tuned till the next time. Take care. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.